Hello, everyone. It's Kim from K&RP here. Today, we're going to be playing with scraps again. I'm still trying to use up a fair bit of what I've got. I have been cleaning things up and I have been throwing things out. It's a very slow process when you have been collecting for over 40 years, 50 years. It's takes time. Currently, today in southeastern Manitoba, it is minus 18 Celsius, which with a minus 22 wind chill factor. It's a beautiful sunny day. So currently in our greenhouse, it's 10 degrees Celsius. In Fahrenheit, that is -1 outside Fahrenheit with a wind chill factor of -8. And I have no idea what that would be. My greenhouse temperature would be for that. We do have a small heater in there, but we love going out there and sitting in the sun. And, so many people suffer from that seasonal affective disorder because they don't get sunshine or see sunshine in the winter. So this is what we do for us. So today on Scrapbusting, I came up with, it's not a new idea. It's what quite a few people do that I haven't. Well, I have, but I haven't. They put napkins down on paper and then hey, Jan, how are ya? I know it's morning in Nanaimo. Oh, so it's damp too, right? Today I'm playing with napkins and paper. I tried thinning out my bins of scraps. And so when I was going through them, I came up with a whole bunch that are cut at that size. And I thought those would be fun to use. And then I've got all these little ovally shapes that I want to use. And I've got this whole, I can't remember what I was doing, but I've got all this long, thin construction paper. So I'm going to try and use some of that up. And what tweaked that was I was working on some, damp. Bah. I was working on some journaling cards and I punched out, I've got napkin down on file folder. I was just using it as a card, so I was punching out a hole so I could have a dangle in the hole. But I looked at this small piece and I went, that's pretty interesting. I wouldn't mind just tucking that in a pocket in a journal. And I wouldn't even necessarily do anything else to it. Maybe edge it a little bit to match the journal. But that's a nice little bit that doesn't really take much time or effort to do. The other thing I was thinking you could do with this is if you use up napkins, because when I started journaling, everybody was using napkins for backgrounds. I know people who use in their art journals so that they don't have white page. Like I bought napkins and I haven't used them. So they're sitting there in my stash. And the other thing with buying napkins is you buy a whole stinking pack. So you've got 12 to 24 napkins in a pack, and maybe you just want to use one. So in order to kind of bust that stuff and these little scraps, I'm just going to take my napkins and just glue down onto these and see what happens. And if it works for tucks in journals as is, all the better. But sidetracked. Squirrels, shiny things. Oh no. When I was doing all that stuff for the snowman booth that my girlfriend and I were having, I painted all these little snowman clothespins. And on the back of them, I put a strip of magnetic tape. And I know that this also is not a new idea. And then on the top, I used Mod Podge, and it is the Dimensional Magic Mod Podge. It's very shiny. And this is what it is. And a bottle this size goes a very long way. It's 2 fluid ounces. And I just got that at Michael's. I'm not sure where else you could get it. Probably Amazon. I don't know. But anyway, so I hand painted all these little snowmen. And then I used fine liner to do some additional like markings on the scarves. Let it dry, put the dimensional stuff on, glued it on the back. And then I had 3 of them on a card, and I was selling them as teacher's gifts. I've got lots of orange ones left over. I was selling them as teacher's gifts or stocking stuffers or what have you. And I was selling 3 for $5. Take very little time. When I was at the museum, one of the ladies there was taking her clothespins, and she was putting photographs or floral paper, or I'm even thinking it was a floral wrapping paper. She would put it down and use this dimensional Mod Podge on it and selling them for the same amount. So considering that you can get a package of 100 clothespins, and I didn't remove the springs when I did this, less work, 100 clothespins for about $2, and you sell them 3 for $5, you're making a little bit of extra money on that. That's, if anybody's doing the craft show circuit, that's a wonderful thing, always looking for little teacher's gifts and hostess gifts. So there you have it. You could take this with a thinner paper and, cut it to the length, sand it, glue it down, sand off the edge a little bit, put the Mod Podge on, and there'd be a whole new kind of thing to do. So, napkins, my goodness. These are napkins that I bought, and I stripped, ready to use. Hey, Sarah, how are you, hon? Sarah, Jan, I'm pretty sure you ladies have met each other, but I'm not sure. Sarah, Jan's my sister-in-law, and Jan, Sarah's my wonderful friend. We worked together. She was my boss for a while. You guys would get along really, really well because you both have cats. And Jan's mom was from the UK too, Sarah. So, like, her and I have shared stories of, what it was like growing up under a war bride. Okay, so anyway, I've got this stack of napkins that I stripped, ready to use, and they're just sitting, taking up space because I don't want to fold them up. And why am I doing this? I'm having tea too today, guys. Hey, we need fun hats, tea party hats. So anyway, as I'm saying, I've got all these napkins that I stripped, and these ones, I don't even know why I bought these ones because they're like little pictures, and I bought lots of those kinds of things. This is okay to use the whole thing for a journal cover, right? That would make a lovely journal cover. So would this one. In fact, I have used this as a journal cover. But you get 4 of the same picture, just in different directions. And then I thought this was cute with the strawberries. But again, one cup of tea. I'm reading and talking. One napkin goes an awfully long way because when you've got them stripped and you're ready to use them, you also get the backings from them. I'm just going to put these aside. And of course, they're really fine, so they can be a little bit picky to use. This one I haven't stripped, but I'm just going to show you how easy it is to strip it. So it's just a cheapy napkin. Nice size. The whole thing is printed. Sometimes when you get napkins, only one corner is printed. Then you've got all white on the rest. So we just take a piece of tape, just regular translucent tape, and we just put it down, and we just kind of pull up the bottom layer a little bit. And then it's very easy because it's just pressed on. It's not even glued down. You can just take it apart gently. So then you've got this piece. You can use it as Kleenex. You can use it as a napkin. You could use it for mopping things up. What I like to do is use them on the gel plate to pull up a print. They turn out really, really nice because it's that little bit translucent like a tissue paper. But it's found art objects, right? Absolutely found art object. Reduce, reuse, recycle. So then I've got the one layer. Sometimes they're 3-layer. You'll be able to tell. But the reason you strip it down is when you glue it, you want to make sure that the top layer sticks to what you're doing. So I'm going to use my detested glue sticks. I broke down and bought glue sticks, and I can't say that I'm a huge fan. And I'm going to take just a couple of, dump out these little bits and see what happens. So I'm going to start with one of these floral napkins. As you can see, I'm going to break it down into the different elements. So I can do that by cutting now. And, that's fine if you want to cut them. The other thing a lot of people do is they just take a brush and a little bit of water, and they just wipe it along, and then you can just tear it nice and easy. It comes apart so nice. You just run it along a line, and look how nice that comes apart. Just a brush and some water. So, as I said, I'm just going to, I'm going to take these into their elements, but I'm going to do it in a different way. Oh, not enough water. Figured I would get this beautiful. I'm not sure what that is. Is that lavender? I'm assuming so because you usually have like lavender, baskets of lavender, maybe. So I'm going to just assume that this is lavender. Anyhow, put that one aside. But as I say, I'm going to get multitudes of this. But I will feel happy just about putting something this simple, this plain, into a pocket in a journal without any additional decoration, because sometimes it just takes a lot. It really, really does take a lot to. Lavender, yes. So I'm going to take a pink construction paper. I have to use it up. I can't just throw it out. It hurts. So I'm just going to use a glue stick. I have used white glue, like my liquid glue. Makes a big mess because when you put this down, and I am just going to lie that on top. Take fancy dancy Google card and just gently go back and forth so that you know it's all stuck. Then I'm just going to take that brush and go around the edge just to take it off. I will do that all in one fell swoop after, when it's had a bit of a chance to dry, the glue. Although I really like the way this edge is coming up. Oh, maybe I didn't glue very good down there. I'll start it, I'll finish off. And the easiest way to do this is you just take a little nail file, and if you go along the edge, it comes, when it's dry, it comes off really nice and easy. So there's two ways of removing this edge, the waterway or this way. And then, of course, with this, you could go with a marker or some paint just to distress the edges a bit. But once that's dry, that's going to be a lovely little tag. I'm going to cut off this part at the bottom because it's got a bit of texture on it. And that part there, I'm actually going to use as its own little tag and a tuck. So, as I say, that would be just lovely just to tuck into a pocket. I don't feel that I really have to do much else to it. Like I say, if you want to run around it with a black marker or a brush of paint or even coffee. So as I say, and the nice thing is construction paper isn't that thick. Obviously, the one layer of napkin isn't that thick. So it's just going to not take up as much room. It would make a pretty bookmark. You could use these for a multitude of things. What about like a gift tag on a present? Like a little thank you tag for whatever reason. So that's my huge idea of the day. I'm going to continue doing that and chatting with you guys. And, we'll continue. I've got these small ones. I'm just going to cut because it's just as easy for me to do it this way. And I'm hoping that these little ones will fit on these somehow. I'm sure they will. Let's do it. Let's just do it. But yeah, I'm always looking for things to stuff into the little envelopes that I make. And then I was thinking with these silly squares, because I've got stacks of squares. I don't even remember what project I got these from, but from doing those kids' craft programs, I have so much construction paper bits that I really have to do something with them. Poor mashed glue stick. So I'm just going to, again, glue it up. You don't have Fiona today, Jan? Fiona is Jan's granddaughter. And you don't have to stick to a same direction, right? Like I could go off in this direction. Doesn't matter. I'll cut this one to show you what it's like just on the... Like, I would glue a square like that down, but then I would have to decorate it. Do you know what I mean? That it's... I could decorate it by drawing lines on it or what have you. But it's boring, just boring, boring, boring. And I think that things need a bit of a punch. And like I say, napkins, you can get so many napkins. I don't know how well you can see that. But isn't that just a little pretty something? Hey, Anne, how are you, hon? I'm back to using up these silly scraps again, Anne, except I'm using napkin to decorate them because I figured that this way I'm not going to have to add any additional decoration. You've met Jan before, Anne. Sarah is a lady who I worked with, I worked for, and we are wonderful friends. We get together online and just craft and chat the same way Jan and I do. Now I can do it with groups. So I can just take this and stick it on a page, just in a corner, zigzag around the edge with marker or with whatever, maybe put it down on a piece of lace, add it into what was I making yesterday? Edgings, borders. But now I will use this instead of just that plain piece of paper. Sarah does hand stitching and resin work and sewing and knitting. Multi-talented lady. And she is a very good medium. Okay, so I've trimmed up the edge on this. And as I say, because it's construction paper and because it's tissue paper, it's not thick at all. It won't take up much room in a journal. And I think it's, yes, textile friends. Two-hour walk yesterday. Wow. Excellent. Oh, your daughter's got a Samoyed? I love Samoyeds. Oh, Sarah, I know about the too many projects. I was hoping this was going to be finished at February. And as I was pulling out stuff that I needed to finish, I realized just how much paper scrap I've got. So I decided to do a week of scrap busting. Not that I've got too much busted yet. But Anne, I'll have you know that that big box of construction paper I had at the beginning of the week, I went through it paper by paper and I threw stuff out. All that little bit, except for these little bits. I threw them all out. See, Jan, I told you I'd suck you into my world. Sarah, when she lived here in Manitoba, we would get together and have a craft night. And we would mass make stuff, and we just had an absolute blast. What's the front look like? You know what? I want something different. I'm going to grab... I have this wild napkin. I just couldn't resist that. Doesn't that scream me? Now that I've got glue on this one. You know, I'm just going to stick it right there. Right there. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Jan. I just have to play. And look, I'm not saving. Gone. Gone. But really, you know, I have so much stuff. I just wish I had somebody closer that did this so that I could share so much. I do have a friend in Lorette that I've sucked into this world, and she was going to come for a play date, but her husband got COVID. So I'm still waiting for the play date, but I'm thinking I can unload a whack load of stuff. The unfrozen half, awesome. So that's a fun one too. Like I say, I don't think I will add anything to that except maybe do an edging to match whatever journal I'm going in. Sarah is the one with the Cornish Rex cats. So, as I say, I could use it as a tuck. I could use it as a twinchy just on a corner of a page. But now, definitely, I will be using these little bits because they've got something on them and they won't just be. This glue is just nasty. Ah, I don't know why people like glue sticks. Sorry, my rant for the day. And I know I've swapped something with you, or you sent something to me. Where do you live? Which state are you in? Nice. Virginia. Okay. How long are you pup sitting for? Oh, just the medical appointment. That's not too bad. I miss having a dog in the house. I really do. When I was working on these little ovals, I thought, "Oh, wouldn't it be cute as like little labels or something?" So even though I've put this napkin on it, I might go back and do just like a little word or something in the middle of it eventually, but at least it's usable. Do you have a dog, Anne? Sarah has Butler, who is a rough collie. He looks gorgeous. I've never met him. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Not sure what this is going to look like. He's a large cat. He's a sweetheart cat. I have no pets. None, none, none. Unless you want to. Nope, no pets. Nope. Although I've got a geranium that's blooming. Have to admit, I'm thrilled about that. Tiberius. Well, I just read an article that said that dogs have the mentality of a 2-year-old, and they can recognize. Some dogs will recognize up to 260 words. So then I've got this little one. So slow but sure, I'm gonna work this stuff into into being used. But I really don't like that glue. So I've used all these. See, now this is going to get folded up and put back in the pile because I've got some and daughter's a Trekkie. Let's use this one. I think we need to do some more swaps. I have to get involved in more swaps so I can send out some more napkins. Oh, that one's different. That one's different. Okay. And you can get such beautiful napkins. There's a place called Ninny's Napkins, and she will sell single napkins at times. But I just don't need any more napkins. I really don't. It is. I got it because I really liked the fact that it had all the different things in it. So, but for some reason, I bought 2 packs of this one. Don't ask me how I did that. Probably because I saw them and just liked them and so when I was looking to see, after coming across that pile, it's like, oh look, I have 2 packs of this. And as I say, some of these come in packs of 24. Now I don't have to use this. This is where the edge was pressed for them, so it's got a bit of a textured pattern. But I don't mind the texture. And I'm thinking once I smooth it out, the texture may be gone. We'll find out. I need a bin for the ones that I've done. What's in this bin? Look, I have an empty bin. Yay! Oh no. Well, these geraniums my grandson had got me for Mother's Day a couple of years ago. And I keep bringing them in the winter because evidently they bloom in the house over the winter, which is lovely because sometimes you just need that touch of spring when it's so silly cold out. It was supposed to have gone down to minus 33 last night, but it didn't. So did you have to... Awesome, Anne. As I was saying before, you don't have to cut them. The only reason I'm cutting them is because I've got such little bits. And it's that thing about wasting again, Did you catch the beginning where I was stripping them? How you use a piece of Scotch tape to pull the backings off? And then you end up with some of the napkins have 3 layers, so you get 2 layers of backing. And they work great on the gel plate. Absolutely stunning prints I get from them on the gel plate. Or maybe it was just a lovely print to begin with. But that's napkin. napkin back. So I want to use this one definitely as a journal cover. So, okay, as I was saying to the other ladies, I don't know if you were here for it, but if you just take a little brush with some water and you run it down where you want to cut it or rip it or whatever, you just run the water down and it just tears like a dream. So yeah, I know that Paula hadn't used napkins either. So when I did the swap with Paula, I sent her some. I know the wind was nasty the other day. We had a mini blizzard and everywhere down in like the Dakotas were saying that they had weather watches out and the highways were closed and everything. But this side of the border, they didn't even catch it. No, we didn't have any storm warnings, anything. We went to the next town, to Lorette, to pick up some groceries, and it was a whiteout. Couldn't see the roads. It was crazy, just crazy. So I think I'm going to put this one on here. I'm not overly worried about the background colors. I just want to use stuff up. I could be a little bit more picky, but oh, this is nasty. Maybe it's just that one. I don't like it. I don't like it. Really don't like it. Let's try this one. Was your husband stationed in Iceland, Anne? Oh, and this one's empty. Okay, let's see. Grab a different one. This one I'm going to scrape out and then wash, and I'm going to try filling it with crayon wax so that I've got a push-up crayon that I can use on my texture plates for rubbings. Yeah. Am I on the road? Is this the road? Am I going the right way? Oh, wow. Maybe I just have to press later. Maybe I'm just too, what was the word? Invigorating or with purpose when they were talking about how Mariah does things. So that's a cute one. I'm going to trim them all after. I'm just going to get them down and sit and trim while I watch someone else. Yeah, Sarah. I started doing junk journals to use up a lot of scrap stuff. And because using things like napkins, so many people use glue sticks. And I'm thinking that, okay, I have glue sticks, but if I'm trying to save the environment by doing a junk journal, is that really helping? So I basically just used my wet glue. There, now I've got two of them. I don't know. My basement's not overly warm, Jan. Yeah, I'll just trim them after. Just get the stuff down. Get the stuff down. I don't know. Maybe I was just pressing down too hard. Don't know. Nope, see, this doesn't quite fit. That's okay. I will throw that little bit out. I will be good. So what kind of creative things have you guys been up to lately? I am just trying to de-stash and I know Jan's been playing a little bit with gel plate stuff. When we chatted Sunday, she was showing me what she had played with. And see too, because it's on the pink, you can see the pink through or the yellow through. So even though it's the same picture, they have a different kind of... Oh, you're still making your gnomes. Oh, ladies, Sarah sent me a picture of her first gnome. And I don't know how I was looking at it, but I thought it was like a hanging lady or something. And once she said, no, it's a gnome, I just feel horrible, Sarah. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing. I could see it, that it was a gnome, but I sure didn't see it at first. It is sticking, although I did notice there was something I had done the other day, and when I came down in the morning, it was all unstuck. The top layer was curled up and the bottom layer was still there. I wasn't overly impressed. I will have to figure out something else to do about glue, because that was just silly. And I think this is going to be a really great way just to, like, I'm considering this a mass make. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and trim things, but I can always just take them out to the greenhouse when I'm going out and do it. Do it, do it. Steampunk mini album. I've got Eileen's tacky. It's fabulous, but with my hands, I can't squeeze it out anymore. It's so crazy thick. But I love Eileen's tacky. Who was it that you were watching, Anne? Is it somebody we all know, or is she just... Yeah, I've done that too. I'm not sure how well it works, because then the napkins get really, really wet. And when you go to rub them down to make sure that they're stuck, they tear. But yeah, if I was not online, I probably might do that too. just use a wet glue. Because I'm sure that the language coming out of my mouth after the fourth one tore would be very rude. I think next week on my lives, I'm going to start working on putting together the pages for the ones I'm sending to Defy. Hey, Jean Peter, how are you, hon? Nice to see you. Did you get the message from me asking if you could teach me how to do pre-records, Jean? Jean is one of the ladies that's very, very involved with Defy. And Jan, when I was telling you about the hop the last time, Jean Peter's the one that did that absolutely incredible copper necklace that is such a statement piece. Yeah, no problem, Jean Peter. Whenever you've got time, I just want to learn to do it so that I can do a couple of tutorials for Defy. Yeah, such a stunning necklace. I'm just trying to use up scraps, Jean, like because I've done so much kids crafts and everything. I've got so much, and of course napkins. I have lots and lots of napkins I want to use. Buying a new Sarah Jan, this Defy that we're talking about is a new car. Okay. It's the Disabled Artist Foundation, and they supply art supplies to low income individuals with varying abilities. It's an incredible program. So it was either last year or the year before, they had a call out for journals so that they could auction them off for a fundraiser. So I sent them a journal, and I've wanted to do pre-recorded videos for them, so that they could have them in their bank kind of thing, or so that if somebody wanted to know how to do this video, then there'd be a small fee, like a $2 fee or something. I'm not sure what the price rates are, but it's another way to help them raise funds. They're currently looking for ephemera, like the little tags and things that you would put into a junk journal. That's right. You were saying about the airbags. I remember now. That is a long time with no car. I do have a good collection, Jan. So I sent them a package yesterday. I mailed it out yesterday. And hopefully it'll get there in time for the next auction. Yeah, everybody should be able to craft. It's so therapeutic, right? So with this group of ladies, quite a few have varying abilities, and it's just a really incredible group of women. And Jean Peter collects stuff to help distribute to the artists, the artists that need supplies. So since it costs so much to ship from Canada to the States, I do what I can, but I think that with being able to do some videos for them, that should be a nice way that they've got some ongoing income kind of thing. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense, ladies? I also, the stuff that I sent, because it's all my Kim bits, so it's all original stuff. I sent Kara a letter of approval that if she wants to digitize any of the stuff I sent, she's welcome to do that and sell like digi pages to people. Sarah and I have worked together with people of varying abilities. That's where we actually first met. We worked for a program in Steinbach, Manitoba. Sarah ran the seniors program, and I was in the job training side. And then I ended up working for her at the seniors program. And then she moved to run that 200 bed PCH that I ramble about occasionally. And she hired me as the recreation dude person. Oh, good. I'd love to work out some with some of the kits you make. And if there's something that I make, yeah, they were good times. If there's something I make specifically, Jean, that you want for the kits, let me know, because I will gladly try and put some stuff together, kit wise, things that will ship lightly. I was actually quite impressed with how reasonable the shipping was of that box that I sent down. Paper piecing kits. You know what, Anne? I just watched somebody who did 4-inch square quilt blocks. They were doing log cabin paper quilt blocks. I watched them. Was it during the hop? Oh, I've watched so much lately. But something that I was doing, I ended up with a stack of 4-inch square pages. So I was thinking of maybe doing, taking some of my quilt block patterns and shrinking them down to 4 inches, and then throwing a bunch of different painted papers on the Cricut mat and cut out so that I could make some patchwork quilts things. Maybe that could be something. Yeah, paper piecing. Yeah, I know. I've done that. I'm not total here today. Hand sewing, not slow stitching. I love you, sir. I was talking yesterday on the live, Sarah, about, I don't know if you remember or even if Jan remembers, those crazy quilt I Spy blocks that I made for M, and M is now 20, and they're still sitting in the fabric studio. I know. She's living in Banff. She's working and living in Banff. We haven't chatted for a while. Damien has my car right now because he needs it for work. Damien is my grandson and Em is my granddaughter. Sorry, and sorry, Jean. This is... Yes, Jan, you should try paper piecing. But you've got the Cricut now too, Jan. It cuts fabric. And if you wine it Ron, chances are he could cut you some acrylic squares, like 8-inch squares or whatever, when you come out this summer. Then you just take it in a rotary cutter and you just zoop around it and you've got your perfect squares. Poke, poke, poke. Do you hear the vacuum running? I keep laughing because I'm sucking Jan into my world of crafting. Oh, bye, Jean. Thanks for popping in, and let me know what works good for you. Because aside from Tuesdays and Fridays, when I stream at this time, I'm free. Carol Doan. I will write that down. If I find something I can write with. I've got something here. I know I do. Carol Doan. Is she new? Does she have lots of followers? I know Defy keeps you busy. And good luck with the car. And I'm glad that you're good. Okay, Carol's been around for a long time. And is she the one that does the quilting? Oh. Well. I glued for a little piece. Let's do that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. You know I love you, Jan. And I don't want you to be bored. Being bored is one of the worst things. I have to cut this one, ladies, because I only used part of the picture, and I want to see what it looks like. Zero patience. Well, that's still kind of cute. Just a little hint of the candle thing and the daisy. That will still make a lovely little tuck thing. Yes, I had a great idea. I haven't tried like quilting paper piecing. I did do quilts, but I never pieced, like I pieced quilts, but I didn't. Einstein Kessler? Jan, I know somebody that you know that would love a steampunk thingy, I'm thinking. And if you do decide to do steampunk, oh, I can't read that. EINAT and ELN. I can't read it. Good grief, and I've got my glasses on. ELMAT. Okay. Darn autocorrupt. EINAT. Okay. EINAT. I will definitely check. Wow, can't believe my eyes are that bad today. Oh, I put glue down and nothing on it. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Some days my eyes aren't bad. Some days they're horrible. But Jan, if you decide to do a steampunk, I have an embossing folder with gears on it that I used for Caleb's journal. And I'm sure I've got some leather bits and stuff if that is something too that you would be interested in. Okay. So I've used that stuff and that stuff. Now I've got one with coffee beans. They're kind of fun. And they will make just interesting little things to tuck into the pockets. I know. I love steampunk too. They are. But again, like when I was saying at the beginning, it was like I see these napkins, and because when I first started doing, I love steampunk too. I was talking about you and your Victorian and old, and yes. When I started doing journals, everybody was using napkins for backgrounds and things. So I invested in a lot of packs of napkins, and I've got so many of them because, as I say, sometimes they're 24, sometimes they're 12 in a pack. And usually you only use one. And I have, when I was decided to do this morning, I pulled out this stack of stripped napkins ready to use. And so it's like, do it. Use them. Just use them. I think I like the way just having them cut and ready to glue down seems to work faster for me. So I'm just going to cut them. I love steampunk too. I think it's a cross between the old-fashioned stuff and fantasy, right? Because I love fantasy novels. Vampires and witches and, Although, one single coffee bean, unless I've got, mind you, I could use these in Janet Young's scavenger hunt because she has coffee down as one of the things to find for the scavenger hunt. So I didn't even think of that till right now. Oh, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Again, and this would be good for like a Frugal Friday kind of thing. Another way of getting rid of scraps. Of course, they'd be fine on any kind of background, but I've got all this stuff. I wish I was better at drawing. I'm not great at drawing, but I'd love to maybe eventually do some digital steampunk stuff. I find I really have to be in a certain frame of mind to do anything digitally. I opened a store in that online thing for t-shirts and mugs and whatever, threadless, and I have to adapt some of my work so it fits into a certain parameter. But I can use anything like from Ron's photographs to my own artwork for them. And so I want to do my cat trading cards that I designed. I just have to do it. I don't get the same thrill from that I do from gluing bits of paper together. I think it's because I need the tactile. I don't know. One big coffee bean. One big coffee bean. Did anybody answer about what they're playing with creatively? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Or I could use it like on an AT or C or something and put coffee, the beginning. Jan and I played pocket folding on Sunday. Had to took a break from the hop, and Jan and I played, and we folded a bunch of pockets too. I was thinking of doing that with some of these squares, is just making a bunch of pockets so that I could do like those or like little envelopes, so I could do little clusters. Oh, it would. Gift card holder. That would. Cat trading cards. I thought I showed you when you were here. They go along with my darn Goonie birds. I created these paper cats, and when one of the grandsons were here, he wanted to make some trading cards out of some of the things that he had drawn. So he was on the computer and he was designing these trading cards. And I thought, what a great idea. So I had him help me put these paper cats into the trading cards as the image. And then I gave them attributes like, let me see, where is he? I've got one cat named Chunk, and they've got on trading cards, there's usually write-ups about them or whatever their strengths and weaknesses are. I just have to find it. So this one is Chunk. Likes to eat ice cream sandwiches, which produce the deadliest gas known to humankind. So there's the picture of the cat and his rating for strength wise and whatever. But because I am not fantastic with digital stuff, maybe. So anyway, there's this chunk and then there's this cat that I did, like the picture of the cat, and then there's the writing. But because I had to do it in layers, the very back layer doesn't have rounded corners. So when I uploaded it to the site, it looks really bad. So I have to figure out how to do something with the layers so that they are with the rounded corners, if that makes sense to anybody. So anyway, I've got poke cat cards. These are more like grumpy cats. Some of them that I did actually look like gangsters, and yeah. That was when I was working on the cat journals, which I still need to finish as well. So then, of course, I had the great idea that if I could do the cats onto trading cards, why couldn't I do the Goonie birds and my fish? And so I'd like to, all the things that I have designed and created, I thought maybe a bunch of trading cards would be a blast to have. But I also think that would be really kind of cool on a hoodie or a sweater or a t-shirt, a cat trading card with, deadliest gas to humankind, because I'm sure that some of you with cats understand that. Not that you give your cats ice cream sandwiches, as a rule. I'm going to throw these bits out. Yay! Or, if I made an envelope, and those were sticking out the top of the envelope, it's just paper. You can throw it out. Right? Right. Let's try that. Okay. Oh, that's cute. All of the above. Isn't that a cute little envelope with just a... Well, that puts a whole new idea on it. I think that's what these squares are going to be, ladies. I'm going to make a whole bunch of little coffee bean stick out envelopes and flowers, and then when I do a cluster, I can just decorate the outsides or even just stamp or something on the outsides. Okay, there we go. See? One idea leads to another, to another, to another. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these beans down, just so that they're on the edge. So that when I put them over the edge, I don't have that white line around them. And then I have to be just a little bit, you know what, just go up to the corner, Kim. Just go up to the corner. Didn't quite make the corner. Okay. So now I want to go back to doing some of the flower ones. You know, this is how squirrels happen in my life. So when you guys are working on things, how often do you get sidetracked like this? I know I can't be the only one. Yeah, I think so too. That, oh well, it's not straight, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're using stuff up. Yeah. I did that with probably everything. Everything. You know what else would be really cute? It's a little square of fabric. Bye, Jan. Take care, hon. Love you. Give that baby a big smooch from me, please. And read her wonky donkey. I know. I think so too. And oh, that's nowhere near straight. That's why they're called junk journals, right? When I've decided that I wanted to do this scrap busting week, and I really haven't got anything busted. But then I see too, when I do something like this, how time consuming it is. Especially like if you're working on a journal, and since I make the majority of my stuff because I'm paranoid about copyright laws and things. It takes forever to do a journal. So I totally get what you mean when you say you think you can accomplish more than. It's very true. Very true. Sarah, I'm sure you feel the same way. I remember when you're doing all those wonderful little purses for that show that we did. And I admit I do watch a lot of videos, and I do get ideas from other people, and sometimes I don't credit the other people because I don't remember where I've seen it. But I still, yeah, I really try. And really, somebody had said once, there is nothing new in the crafting community. It all comes around again and again and again. Yeah, Sarah, I'm doing that too. Journal for the Lorette. Him or her, exactly. Not getting those corners. But now, like I'm saying, I have stuff that I will actually use in a journal because I think too with the napkins and them being, I don't have a big pile of them. I don't have little bits lying around rule because they're so fragile. The sound went away. Oh no. Is it here back? Is it back? I did nothing to make it go away. Am I still here? Hello? Hello? Testing. I'm back. Am I back? Can you hear me? I need to write that down. All good? All good. Okay. So as I was saying, with the napkins being so fragile, I don't have them kicking around. So I don't use them. Will use them. But I don't want to, like, I don't want just to glue a napkin onto a whole big piece of paper unless I'm using it for, like this one. Where is it? I lost it. I'm working on those journal cards, right? So this is a piece of napkin that I glued onto the journal card. You think my internet connection's glitching? It could be because for some reason this computer wouldn't connect to the internet earlier. Oh my, I've been on an hour and 22 minutes. So anyway, a quick rundown. Now that I've got them like this, I'm going to use them. I'm going to continue playing for a while, and I will be back tomorrow at 12:45. I really appreciate you guys being here. And it's always wonderful to chat and visit while I play. And I hope that you take away some ideas from this today. And again, let's use up what we've got because it's just the way it is. Thanks, everyone, and goodbye. Love you all. Take care. Where is my cursor? Ha! It is. Try again. Bye. Love you all.